pair of you wake up. But you are no longer in your rooms. There is no barricade, Brad, and there is no dream catchers, Sean. No, instead you are standing in the snow, in the woods, surrounded by a crowd of people. You can't really make out the details of most of these people, though. They're all dressed in black, wearing hats and veils, like a funeral. You're at a funeral. You can see the open grave in front of you, but it's a very shallow grave, and there isn't even a proper tombstone. But you can see Nigel, staring up at the sky, clothed in sackcloth. A man steps forward, a priest. You can see a Catholic priest. He's got all that adornment to him, the crucifixes, the long robes. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here before Almighty God to say farewell to our brother Nigel and commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. A mourner at the grave bearing a shovel then suddenly steps forward and just shovels some dirt onto Nigel as the priest keeps speaking. Nigel, dead to the world, dead to the Lord. Someone from the crowd responds, dead to the world, dead to the Lord. The priest continues, through his sinner's fault, his most grievous fault, he is most deserving, God, of thy just punishment. Someone from behind you, Brad says, unclean, unclean. How are you responding to all this, Brad and Sean?
I mean, it's... I know where they're coming from, but they're fucking wrong. It's all wrong. It's evil. I need to get away from here. I don't want to be among these people. Not like this.
I stand here and I hear these responses, and I hear the priest that looks like a Catholic priest, but what he says does not sound very Catholic at all. And even if it were, it wouldn't have been what Nigel would have wanted. So I just look around me and I just murmur to myself, this is not how we would have wanted it. This is not. And I try to look if I can see his parents among the crowd. Are they the ones behind this? Is it his dad that wanted this kind of burial?
You see a man suddenly right next to you, tall, greying hair. You recognize him from the photo. Yes, his father, there he is.
And how is he then reacting to all this?
He looks dead at you and sort of mutters, thank God his mother never knew. That's the only thing I'm grateful for.
And I just stare at him. I feel speechless. I feel like I'm in the middle of the most hostile crowd, and I feel at the same time helpless. I just want to scream. I want to go up there, and I just want to hold Nigel, even if it's past. I want to just kneel down. I want to dress him in the most beautiful clothes. I want to rest in a proper casket and be buried in a proper grave in a proper manner. This is not what he wanted, and I just feel a huge sense of helplessness, and I look around. I try to find any sympathetic face.
There are none. Just cold faces as you kind of start moving forwards. Brad, what are you doing? You can see Sean, he's trying to move forwards, you think? What do? You wanted to move away from this.
Sean, I kind of raise my voice, not caring about the, ceremony going on around me, and I begin moving towards him through the crowd.
And I move up and I start going towards the priest. I just want to seize him. I just want to tell him that this is wrong. I want to tell him to be quiet. He's dishonoring the life of a beautiful individual.
You go up to the priest, he stares at you, continuing to intone whatever nonsense he's saying, and you, Brad, you start trying to reach for Sean, but there are still a few people in the way, and they just turn and look at you, saying, I mean, you know what happens when those people do that. I mean, in a way, he brought it on himself, right? Yeah, I know. Can you believe he once taught kids as well? I mean, thank God he didn't actually teach kids, because what I heard what he did with some of those students. Oh, yeah.
And I just try to ignore them and try to push my way through to Sean. They don't know anything about Nigel. They don't know him. I mean, if they did, they wouldn't say these kinds of things. They wouldn't be this bigoted and just wrong.
Sean, you reach the priest, and what do?
I just reach out to grab hold of him and his shirt and just shake him.
You try shaking this man, but you can't. It's like he's made of granite or stone. He just turns to you impassively and says, Sinners will pay for their penance in the time to come. All sinners, boy, even you.
He was not a sinner. He's a fine man. A fine man. You don't know him. None of you do. I turn around and start pointing at them. Nigel was the most kind soul. If you cannot find it in your heart to believe and to listen to that and to truly get to know someone, then you have no reason to be here.
They just stare at you, all these people. They just keep talking and talking. These natterings, these gossips, these rumours, and it all becomes louder and louder. And then, Sean, you just hear one voice. Nigel, you look down, his eyes are open. He's trying to move, and he tries to open his mouth, but his mouth is just a hole, and he's just looking at you, pleading for help. What do?
I let go of the priest, and I kneel down, seeing that he is alive. I don't care if I'm kneeling in the snow. I just reach down and I try to help him up.
You do, but you can't pick him up. You can't pick him up. Brad, what do? You finally emerge again, the crowd. Their noise now louder and louder. These accusations, these sins, just louder in your ear. And one of them then does look at you and just says, To kill is a sin. To kill is a sin. You, boy, will go to hell as well. All of you will go to hell.
I just shake my head and I'm backing towards Sean. Can I help him? Can I help him get Nigel out of there?
You both try, but then the snow begins to fall heavily and you are covered in more and more of it, and then you wake up.
Do I feel the same feeling as last time? Something over me?
No, but you do wake up in a cold sweat. You look and you see your room barricaded, but you remember this dream. This was very memorable.
Yes, it was. It surely was. I have to go to Sean. I put my clothes on and I put my gun in my back pocket again and hiding it, and then I begin moving towards Sean's room.
You can hear me gently weeping in there as you come up to the door.
Sean? I knock. Sean?
You hear a weak come in.
And I open the door, and as I get in, I move to look through the window to look out. How does it look?
Darkness. You're not sure what time it is. It should be the morning, but you just see snow piling up way over the window. You can barely... That's why you see darkness, because it's just completely covered in snow. You feel cold as well. The room feels cold.
I'd better put my jacket on. Come on, I think you need to get up. I don't think we're getting out of here today. Look.
We can't leave him. We can't leave him for his parents to do that, to give him this unholy, terrible fate of a burial. We can't just, you saw that too, didn't you? I saw you in there. I know you saw it.
I did.
We can't, if his dad, is this what he's gonna do? He's gonna just put him in a shallow grave and have this terrible Catholic priest, and they'll just be surrounded by people who hate him, who don't even know him.
Yeah. It's not gonna go that way, alright? It's not. We'll make sure of that.
And how do you know?
Because we're gonna make sure, Sean. That's what we're gonna do. What we gotta do first is we gotta, he's not dead, alright? So we just have to get out of here now, because something's not right, It's very wrong.
Yeah, something is wrong. But we'll need them to promise us that they'll let us know when he has passed, so that, that it happens in the right way.
Yeah, sure.
Miss Collins or Dwayne or Letitia, they have to promise they'll let us know.
Let's go see if we can find Nigel, huh? Make sure he's alright. I mean, I cannot believe that he's not seeing the same thing that we are seeing. Surely he must be.
No one is. It's so strange. Why are just the two of us seeing it? Or do you think he is, but he's denying it?
Maybe. It's possible. I think we should ask him. Maybe he'll know more this time.
He got a bit gruff yesterday. It's not his character, I say weakly as I get up and start dressing myself.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, he's under a lot of pressure.
Well, you two get dressed and leave your rooms. And yet, something is wrong. The house is dark. Very dark. And cold. You think you can hear the wind blowing from somewhere, though. What do you do?
Seems like they haven't made it here today either. What time is it?
If you look at your watches, it's 12 o'clock. But then, if you compare watches, you have different times on your watches.
That's strange. Why is it so dark?
Snow, maybe? It's piled up. The windows are covered. The doors are probably blocked too.
It's cold too. Let's get some fires started. I guess maybe Miss Collins have been busy looking after him, and we don't have the others here, so we should try and, warm up the place.
Let's do that. Let's get a fire started and let's find Nigel.
You make your way upstairs, passing through the entrance hallway. The mural has fallen to the ground. The whole place is covered in dust, and cold and dark and empty.
That's weird. I go over and I pick it up. I try to, put it back on the wall.
It's a bit difficult for you to do by yourself. You don't really think you can. You might need a couple of people and a ladder.
Well, I first say to Brad to help me, but then I realize that we'll need a ladder too, so I'm not gonna... I just put it a bit to the side. And I just look at see that it's all dusty, and I just draw my finger along it to see if it leaves dust on it.
A little spider starts crawling over your finger, and you brush it off, but yes, there were spiders there.
What's going on? Hello? Nigel? Miss Collins?
No one responds. Your voice echoes oddly, as if shouting at a cave, even though you're in a house.
I look over to Brad. Are we still dreaming?
Maybe. This isn't possible. Maybe we are. I mean, it's impossible, but here we are. Alright, I don't think anything's gonna work here, but this is all about one person, isn't it? I mean, it's all about Nigel, right? So maybe we can find him.
Sure. The library?
Yeah. And I begin leading us towards the library with the gun in my hand.
You get your gun ready, except... Oh, wait. You don't have a gun. You kind of panic and start feeling yourself, and the gun you thought you had is gone.
Fuck.
What's wrong?
Gun's gone. This place is weird.
Do you remember what he said about dreams? If you die while you're dreaming, if you get stuck in a dream? What if we died and we're stuck in this dream in this place? What if they poisoned it on the first night and somehow... I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense at all.
No, it's all right. There's only one way to find out. We've got to find Nigel. And I increase the pace.
You begin moving into the parlor. The parlor is abandoned. The furniture strewn about the place. Everything covered in dust, as if this house has been abandoned for years.
Is there any wood on the wood pile? Can I make a fire?
There is no wood. You could try breaking apart some of the old furniture, though.
I'm not gonna be that drastic about it. Let's first see in the library then. I do follow Brad as he goes towards it.
Indeed, and you move to the library. And the library is in a state of disarray similar to the rest of the house. The books, mostly missing, scattered about the place. Everything empty and cold. You both feel very cold, and maybe there's no other souls here. Maybe it's just the two of you. The two of you in the whole world, alone.
For the first time, I start going towards the room then that he was kept in.
You do. The door is locked.
Damn it. I try a bit forcefully.
I go to help you.
One of you can act under pressure, and the other can assist. Who would like to assist, and who would like to take command of trying to break down this door?
Well, I'm happy to take a step back.
Yeah, this seems like something that maybe Brad would take the lead on. Is there any possibility that I can try to violently break down the door?
Yes, I'd say you know the correct stance. You've got some training in you, so you can definitely, by pure brute force, try and get down this door. It can't be that well locked, it's just a wooden door.
Right. Yeah, that's what I try and do. 14.
Ooh, well, again, do you try and assist him, Brad?
I do, and I roll at 10, so I think I can add a +1 to that.
You can, which means he gets a 15. You brace yourself, you get ready, and you burst down that door, entering the room on the other side. It is a hospital room, a cold, clinical place. Neon lights glowing up above, a sickly yellow. You see, in the corner, a bed. There is a man attached to the bed. Nigel. He is attached to tubes and machines. They are in his chest, in his mouth, in his eyes and ears, just attached to him in completely unnatural ways. You can see him breathing in and out, and as he does, strange red fluids go back and forth between these machines. Yellow and red, pumping back, pumping forth, pumping back. You hear beeping, electronic beeping, and the scene is rather unpleasant. Both of you, please roll to keep it together.
7.
12.
Well, how do you react to this, Brad? You'll lose 1 stability and be overcome with an emotion. What is the emotion that fills you? Again, this is nightmarish. You don't put people to this many machines at once. What are they doing to him?
I become absolutely furious. What are they doing to my friend? This is worse. No, it's the same. It's the same as everything that they did to him up until now. And I will get them for this. I'm not going to allow this to pass. I become angry.
And you, Sean, unfortunately, it's not just that this is awful. It's that you just are overcome with this feeling that you aren't even going to be able to do what you just said. He's not going to die peacefully. Look at him, he's attached to machines, and there's nothing you can do, and he's going to die alone, and you are going to die alone as well. And you are overcome with -2 stability. How do you respond to this horror?
My hands go up to my head, and I start pressing my temples and pulling my hair, and I just start moving around the bed back and forth like, no, this can't be right. This, what are they, what the hell is happening? Where are we? Nothing makes sense.
Brad, what do? You think Sean is very badly affected by this scene, so he doesn't seem to notice the door. There is a door to the left, standing there in the middle of the room. and someone knocking on the other side. What do you do?
Oh no. It's here again. I begin moving up to Nigel.
You see him attached to this horror of a machine, the tubes in his mouth, in his ears, in his nose, the pumping of liquids, his blood. It's his blood. They're replacing it with green and yellow, whatever, and he's just there.
They're hurting him. They're hurting him. I begin pulling out the tubes. I need to free him from this. I need to we take him out of the door. We run away from here. We can still do that, and then he will survive.
You start trying to remove the tubes, but you realize quite quickly that they're difficult to remove, and you have this moment of doubt, wondering which do you remove, which do you not remove, and then you hear the door bang open from behind you, and something is there. Sean, you see it first because Brad was trying to help Nigel, but then he just stops and you see something coming through the door. What do you do, Sean?
I step back towards the wall. I just, seeing that the door is just standing out of its own and something is coming out of it, I just give out a shriek, and I just point at it in absolute incredulity.
Brad, what do you do? Something is behind you. Sean's screaming at it.
I can't leave without Nigel. I'm not going to. Not this time. I just continue trying to pull out the cables, as many of them as I can. I don't want to see what's coming, because I can't stop it. I don't think I can stop it. I don't have my gun anymore.
Please act under pressure at a -4.
It would be a 6.
You turn, determined to free Nigel, and a little part of the back of your head goes, "You moron, turning your back on something entering a room." And unfortunately, it is too late, as something suddenly enters from behind, completely takes you off guard because you weren't focused on it, and throws you across the room. Please endure injury, -1.
That is a 13.
You are thrown hard against the wall. You stumble, you're confused, not quite sure what just happened. What threw you across the room? You get up, but it hurts. You have a serious wound. You've bruised your shoulder. A -1 now to your rolls until that is taken care of. And you see what has thrown you across the room. You see it as well, Sean. You saw it come up behind Brad and just throw him. It's Nigel. But an old Nigel. His hair desiccated, his eyes sunken, his flesh starting to rot, naked. He just grins, stares at you, Brad, and says, "Well now, somebody's been skipping out on the exercise. Thought you were supposed to be a big, tough man."
You're not Nigel. You're not Nigel.
"No, I'm not Nigel, but he's mine. He tastes so good. I'm gonna eat him up, and when I'm finished with him, then I'm gonna come for you, Brad. All your friends are gonna laugh. You probably caught it off him, didn't ya? That's what you get for hanging around with him, and you're gonna die alone. So alone, nobody cares about somebody like you. A soldier, who cares about them anymore? No, you're gonna die alone and cold, and that's what's gonna happen. Nothing you can do about it." The being just sort of stares at you and just walking towards you, saying these words with a smile on its face that distorts its skin. What do you do, Brad?
I having felt the power of that thing, I don't like my chances fighting it. I ready myself, and then I look to Sean, seeing how he's panicked, and Nigel? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Sean, you, being by Nigel still, see this thing saying these things, and you look to Nigel, the real Nigel, and his eyes do suddenly open, and he is looking at you, and he's struggling. He's trying to say something, but he's got all these tubes. And again, the being is there, and it does slowly turns its head to you. What do you do, Sean?
I look between Nigel and what appears to be Nigel too, but it's clearly not. it's something, it said it itself, it's kind of feeding off him. And I say, let him go. Just stop doing this. He doesn't deserve this. He's a good person. He deserves a good life, a good ending of his life. And you're just some sick dream thing.
The being smiles, its voice distorting now every now and again, sounding like Nigel and then just sounding like some sort of thing. Leave him alone! Leave him alone! He tastes so good! And you will taste good too, little Sean. No one's gonna love you. You're a freak. You're gonna die cold. You're gonna die alone. But I'll be there. I'll be there. It starts coming towards you and its arm begins extending out to you. What do?
I'm holding my arms up against it. I try to just go on. Just if anyone is gonna catch on the disease, it's you. You're draining him. You're gonna end up for the worse if you keep doing this. Leave him alone for your own good.
Goody. Disease. That's a fun one. Brad, what do? This being is slowly moving, its hands extending to both of you, but you now have noticed by the bed. Nigel is awake. He's trying to do something, but all those tubes. What do?
I need to go help him. I rush back, and I try to do what I did before that thing stopped me. I continue trying to pull out just all the tubes, all of them. They're all bad. They must be bad.
Yes, you dart over. This time it's not as difficult because you're aware of this being. You try and move past it and get to him to move those tubes. Roll act under pressure.
That is 14.
Do you wish to assist, Sean?
As I see Brad moving forward to try and get these things out of him, I'm going to try to push the other being away, to help him that way, just get him out of the way so that Brad can do this.
Then I will say you can assist him by acting under pressure as well.
Unfortunately, that's a 2.
You move forwards to try and just shove this being away, and you barge into it. This gives you a moment, Brad. You do get over and you do manage to get a tube out. You go for the one in his mouth and just pull it. Black blood and bile spills all over you, and you see Nigel kind of gasping for air. He's trying to say something to you, but clearly struggling. While this happens, unfortunately, though, the being just turns its attention on you, Sean. Smiling, it lifts you up, its face extending, the flesh rotting, and it just grins as it takes a bite out of you. Please endure injury -2, Sean.
That's 12.
You take a serious wound as well, a -1 to your rolls as this thing bites into your flesh, and it hurts. It hurts a lot.
I let out a gasp and a scream, and I try to push him away. I just try to tear him off.
You taste vile, impure. I love it. Meanwhile, Brad, what do? You see this happening to Sean, but again, Nigel he's there. He's trying to say something and he's trying to stand up, but what do? Again, there's still so many tubes.
The tubes. It's the tubes. Gotta get him out. Just continue pulling.
As you do so, you hear him. I'm sorry, Brad. I shouldn't be here. I can't. He's right. I don't want to die, Brad. I don't want to die alone.
You're not gonna die alone. If anyone's dying, we're dying together, alright?
No, you don't. You can't. We can't go. I've let so many people down. I'm gonna. It's my fault. It's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. None of it is.
Would you like to roll charisma?
That is 12.
You see Nigel look at you, and everything slows a little for a moment. You can hear the monster screaming at you, but everything just slows, and he's still panicked, but he seems calmer, but only for a few seconds. He just says, I thought I got over it, but I haven't. I don't know what I'll do if I have to die alone. I think we all die alone, don't we?
You're not gonna. We're here. We came, remember? And you have so many friends. And there's so many people that love you. We're here for you.
Does that include you, Brad?
Yeah, of course.
Even if I took you to this place and I might be about to kill us all. It's me. You're here because of me. I'm so sorry.
Especially then. I came here for you. And I'm not going anywhere. Not anymore. Not without you. Come on. Let's get through this together. Just like we did back in the good old days.
Sean, you feel strange. The pain doesn't feel so bad for a moment. The being lifts you up, and it does seem like it's about to take another bite out of you, but it slows. And you just see Nigel look at you, and this conversation, you're part of it, somehow. And you hear him say, "But not you, Sean. You never forgive me, will you? I'd understand. I'd understand. It was my fault. It was my fault."
It never was your fault, Nigel. You set something off, and you made me realize the things that were more important to me. You gave me principles. You gave me a ground to stand on. I made my own choices from them. I took my distance. I didn't want to be a doctor anymore. And you just helped me realize that. Please, can't you see this?
Do you mean it, Sean? I didn't ruin your life.
No. You were a companionship that I had from no one else. It was just you that knew who I was and that appreciated me for who I was. And I will do the same to you. Wherever you go and however you pass, eventually I will be there, and I will always remember, and I will always love the memory of you.
Time snaps back. The being suddenly thrusts both its arms out, grabbing both of you, and then black tendrils just start surrounding you, constricting you as this being says, "No! No! You all die alone, and I eat you!" What do you say, Brad? You can feel this thing covering your mouth, covering your nose. You're going down. You can't see what's happening. What do you do? What do you say?
Fuck you. And I just try to fight against it as hard as I can.
Sean, what do you do?
I try to reach out to just hold the hand of Brad. I try to just show him that we're not alone.
And there's a moment where you wonder if it was enough. And everything goes dark, and then suddenly there is a blinding light. And you both are on the ground, but you're no longer held, and you see Nigel rise from that bed, the tubes and the machines falling away. The being screams in anger, its form contorting and twisting beyond a human form into some black, nebulous being, but then a great light strikes it right in the center, and the being screams in agony as everything falls away. And then everything is light. You wake up on the floor, surrounded by a white light. In the distance, you can hear the sounds of flutes and some other sort of music. And as your vision adjusts, you seem to be in a lovely Greek-style ruin? Not a ruin, but a fresh-built building. And there is the sound of birds and flutes. The sky is a strange yellow, though. What do you do, Brad?
Huh? Where are we? I look around. Is Sean there?
Yes, he's right next to you, but you can't see Nigel right now, but Sean is there. Sean, how do you feel? Still feel some pain, but you look down and you don't have a gaping wound in you anymore. Still hurts, though.
Hey, Brad, I don't know, but I think I think we did it. I think we convinced Nigel that he was free from sin somehow. I try to look around to see him.
There's a man approaching you. It's Nigel. His hair is long. He is healthy. He is dressed in white robes. He comes down and smiles and lifts a hand to help you both stand.
Thank you.
Well, don't thank me too soon. That didn't go the way I wanted. I thought I didn't have any more doubts. I thought that I had them under control. I didn't realize, though, that when I, brought you here, that you'd bring your own with you, and then, and then they'd bring it all down. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean it didn't go the way you wanted? What did you try to do, Nigel?
You probably ain't gonna believe me, but, hell, what words to use? I just wanted you to come to a nice place with me one last time, so I could see you both before I go. And I wanted to bring you both there. I wasn't sure I could do it, but it turns out you do a few extra things, and you can bring people with you, but next time I'll be more careful. I didn't realize that I'd caused the problems I did. I'm so sorry.
Well, if it was you giving us those things in our dreams, if that's what you're talking about, then no, that wasn't a very nice place at all, Nigel. And I look around at this place. This is much better.
This is where I'm going. Again, I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. But knowing all that, do you still mean what you said? You're not mad at me?
No, of course not. Of course I'm not mad. I'm just happy. I'm just happy we got to see you. If this is the last time.
Yeah, I think it is. I wasn't intending to leave just yet, but, turns out getting rid of that thing, difficult. I don't think I could have done it without you. Part of me is wondering if maybe it's because I brought you here, but at the same time, part of me is wondering if maybe that was just waiting for me anyway. It's gone now, but no, I think I'm ready to go, and don't worry, you two. You don't have to come with me. Not yet, anyway.
I start tearing up a bit, and I just hold out my hands towards his shoulders, and I just say, "No, not yet. Maybe one day, but it was good that you had us come and didn't die, or choose to die alone."
No, that was something I was afraid of still, but you reminded me that it's fine. It's fine, and I'm not gonna be alone. There's others here, you know. They teach me so much. I've already been learning quite a lot. Feel free to look over my notes. You might think it's all a bit silly, but no, I assure you, it's... You could do it too. You could maybe come here one day when you're ready.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
What he says doesn't really make much sense to me. It's as if he has somehow created this place for his own, rather than... I don't know what else.
He looks at you and almost seems to read your mind as you think that, and he nods. Yes, I have. Sorry, Brad. There is no heaven. Not really. But I've made my own heaven, and they have too, and it's just as good.
So all that you said about that, us just about being able to get stuck in a dream when your body passes, this is your dream?
It's my dream, but there are others too. Quite a few of us. And if you do it right, you can dream whatever you want. Although, as you've shown, not always as safe as you think. But Well, that's that. That's where I'm going.
I try to intellectually grasp this as he says it, but I feel like I need time to process it, and I step forward and I give him a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
He smiles and hugs you back, although it feels a bit distant. You notice he leans away from the hug and he just seems to be walking away now, walking into that forest. Just walking away from both of you. Quite content.
Goodbye.
Farewell, then.
He blinks and turns and says, "Oh, you're still here? Oh, sorry. No, yeah. Yes. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Follow me one day. I'll see you soon. It's beautiful. A real Arcadia." Where was that from, Brad?
Arcadia? Paradise? It's right here. It's wherever we make it.
And you wake up. Both of you. Brad, you wake up. You feel very, very sore. You feel your shoulder and it feels like you've dislocated it. But you clearly haven't, but it feels like that. You look over and notice that you've put a chest of drawers in front of the door. And feel a bit silly.
Yeah. But we made it. We did it. Alright. I get dressed and I move the chest of drawers away. I need to go to Sean.
Sean, you wake up. You feel very sore. You feel like someone's punched you in the gut. But at least you're not bleeding. And you see Brad suddenly open your door, and then both of you become quite aware that you can hear the sound of some people upstairs. There's people upstairs. If you look to the window, you'll notice outside is a clear day, and the snow is not nearly as heavy as you thought it was.
Nigel. We have to go to Nigel. I begin rushing towards the second floor.
I get out of bed and I just look around at first just to see if there's still that layer of dust of that was another place.
No more dust than usual. And you both head upstairs and you see paramedics. There's a bunch of paramedics. They're rushing it back and forth, and there's a man with them as well, a stern-looking man. You recognize him from the dream. William, his father, although here he doesn't look as stern, actually. Here he just looks sad and worried. And then Miss Collins starts moving towards you. You can also see Dwayne and Letitia sort of near the doorway as well. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm so sorry. Do you need anything to drink, or do you need breakfast? Oh gosh.
What happened? He passed, didn't he?
No, he's just fallen into a coma. He fell into a coma 2 hours ago. I've called everyone. They're checking him, but I'm so sorry. It doesn't look good.
Oh, all right. Can I see him? Can we see him?
No. I'm sorry. It's really not a good time. They need time to look after him. And again, you see the paramedics coming back and forth, and then you see them sort of just taking him out on a stretcher. There he is. And yet, he doesn't look like he's in pain. It just looks like he's sleeping.
He looks peaceful, I say in a quiet remark.
Yeah. Peaceful. Finally.
They begin taking him out of the house. And then as this is happening, that man comes over, William, and he just looks at you a little confused. I'm so sorry, who are you two?
Sean Carson. I studied at the University of Nigel. We were friends.
His old roommate from college, Brad.
You were with him the last few days?
Yeah, He seemed to be going through a lot mentally, but in the end, he was at peace.
How do you know? He was? Really? You were with him?
Yeah, he spoke to us. He told us about his troubles and his fears, and he told us about his fears about not having a proper funeral and being honored. And now I'm starting to lie out of my teeth because of my own fears from that dream about a Catholic man spouting how vile and how sinful he was, and we just assured him that that would not come to pass.
Well, of course not. Of course not. Strange dream he had. Huh. And he was happy to see you, happy to see his friends.
I nod, and I look over to Brad.
Yeah.
He just sort of trails off, and maybe you think to yourself, Brad, why is he here? It's a bit strange for his father to suddenly be here right now. A bit odd.
Yeah. What made you come here today?
Oh, silly, you wouldn't believe me. It's a silly reason.
Oh, no, trust me, I would believe quite a lot of things.
I had a hunch something was going to happen today. He looks around the room. I haven't been in this house for years. I couldn't bring myself to come. And yet I had a dream where Nigel told me he forgave me. And the man starts tearing up a little. And I said, I'm sorry. And then I thought I have to come here now and say it in real life. It's too late. It's too late.
I'm sure he can hear you. They hear more than one thinks. I'm sure he appreciates that sentiment, and I'm sure if you truly mean it, then he will know it in his heart as well.
You think? I don't know. I don't think he's gonna wake up. I just wish I'd said it sooner. What a stupid old man. I was too hard on him. I didn't understand. As maybe still don't, but I just wanted him to know that I was sorry.
I think he knows.
He nods, and he starts to leave the room. You can tell he is quite shaken up.
Seeing that and how moved he is, I start sniffling a bit myself, and I just dry the corner of my eyes. Well, no, that's... Yeah, I think I'll get my things together.
Yeah, me too. I think it's time. It's time to go.
And so, the two of you will make your way back to your lives. Being assured you'll be informed of what happens next. He's been taken to the hospital, but you think he'll probably be then put back in the home he was in. Apparently that's what he wanted. And a week passes, and you go home, back to your lives, and you receive the letter in the post that Nigel has passed. And the letter is from his father, and you are of course invited to his funeral, a cremation. That is what he wanted. Friends, there, at the end. Sean, how do you feel as you read this letter and reflect on what happened in Arcadia?
I keep reading the word over and over again, the word cremation, and that this is what he wanted. And I tense up and then draw a big sigh of relief, as it just feels like it's something just leaving me, a worry. And I just feel that it's all right. It's all right.
And what do you think of the dreams you had? those strange, strange dreams. You feel a bit better now, but it really hurt your shoulder for a good few days after.
That was the strangest thing that happened to me in my entire life. And part of me feels now that I want to read what he wrote. I want to find those notes. I want to understand more what actually happened and if it did happen. So I start to try and make arrangements for that, to be able to go up to the place again and look through and see if there's anything that I can make out of it.
Bradford, how do you feel as you read that letter?
I feel relief and happiness in a way that he got the end that he wanted. That was the most important thing after all. Not all of us get to go out on our own terms. And I suppose he at least got that. And I'm glad that I was able to be there for that.
And what of the actual events? Those strange dreams? Drugs, maybe, or military conspiracy, or something else?
Yeah. I think I've consigned that to the box in my mind where I put things that I just cannot explain. The world is much bigger than what we think. Not even religion can explain it all. And I don't think I ever will be able to explain what happened there.
There's a little clipping with the letter, a photocopied clipping. You've both been sent it. William thinks you would like to see it. It's his obituary. Nigel Charles St. Dennis, 43, of Albemarle County, Virginia, died of complications associated with AIDS, according to his father, William St. Dennis. St. Dennis was born October 20th, 1951 in Charlottesville. He graduated in 1971 from the University of Virginia with a BA in English Literature and a minor in Classics. He earned a doctorate in Greek and Latin from Yale University in 1980. He lived in New York and Washington, teaching classics at various universities. His remains will be cremated. Friends will be invited by his father to the blessings of his remains, which will be held at Arcadia, the St. Denis estate, later in the spring. Contributions in his name may be made to the AIDS charity foundation of one's choice.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the scenario Et in Arcadia Ego for KULT Divinity Lost. Et in Arcadia Ego was written by James Estes, originally released back in 1994, and with a revised edition just released for free by the fantastic folks at Helmgast, who have also sponsored this series. The revised edition is dedicated to Terry Kevin Amthor, who was instrumental in making the original American release of KULT happen, and who we tragically lost earlier this year. The music was made by Atrium Carceri and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, Bob Lange, Julián, Cameron, Ryan F. and Xabier for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want early access to our content and to hear raw versions of our recordings right after we have done them, or get your name announced as a champion of the Red Moon, do check out our higher level tiers on Patreon. It's a great way to get more Red Moon role-playing in your life, and to help us keep the show going. Thank you again for listening, and happy holidays from us at Red Moon Roleplaying.